One of my dearest elders in this lifetime, Father Murray Rogers, he died 2 years ago. He was an Anglican priest and monk who spent most of his life in India, and he's British. Father Murray was a radiantly simple, holy man, and it was our great good fortune to have him as a friend and elder. He was on our board of directors for many years. And one time, after somebody had gotten really upset with me over something that I had said, I said to Father Murray, I said, you know, when I was younger, Father, I used to think it was kind of cool that I would upset people, you know, and be so controversial. I said, but, you know, frankly, now I hate it. I don't like offending people. I don't like upsetting people. And he said, oh, Bo, you blockhead. He used to call me a blockhead. Great endearment. He said, do you think any of the kings in the Old Testament enjoyed seeing the prophet walk through his gates? They hated those fellows. And they had to hear them out because they had some form of authority. They had a divine authority that they carried with them. The kings had to hear them out. And do you know what they usually said? You're not going deep enough. You're not doing well. He said, and then they left, and the kings would change or not change, but they hated those fellows. He said, you're just casting the role of an Old Testament prophet. That's all. That's what you were born to be. I said, gee, thanks. Because it isn't fun. It isn't fun. I mean, I've been in congregations, I've been in meetings where 40 or more people have walked out in the middle of my talk or my sermon because they got so triggered or so offended or so angry. And that's not fun. I don't like really upsetting people. But it's my role. And one of the reasons I think that I'm casting that role is that I regularly go in and out of the prisons. And I can't pretend in my life that all you have to do is ask yourself, is it true? Do I know that it's true? How would my life be? I mean, these are questions these are clever mental strategies for some sweet humanistic psychology so that you can get your head on a little straighter. This is not going to serve somebody like Charles Wakefield doing 34 years in South Carolina for a crime he didn't commit because he's a black man who was in the wrong place at the wrong time. That's not going to serve Charles Wakefield. Is this true? Yeah, it's true. Am I sure it's true? Yeah, damn right it's true. And yet, Charles Wakefield does still have an opportunity to transcend and to go deeper and richer. I'm not going to try to have him pretend that he's not locked up and that it's not unfair. It's horrifically unfair. And it continues to be unfair every year when he's denied parole. And we're supposed to, our bliss is supposed to be interrupted by that. You know, one popular teacher says she's in a state of uninterrupted bliss. I want my bliss interrupted when I think of my friend Charles. 2 nights ago, one of the guys on our mailing list was executed by the state of Texas. I testified at his death penalty trial in Dallas. I don't have to be disempowered or overwhelmed by those things. But do I want to be in bliss? That's not what bliss is for. I feel like in the consumer pop spiritual reality, the promise is that nothing will ever bother you again. I was in a maximum security prison in Tampa, Florida in my tour, where the age of the inmates was 9 to 12 years old. Maximum security prison. They were shaved head. They wore orange jumpsuits that were huge on them. They had to walk in military file and not talk. 9-year-olds. I don't want to be in uninterrupted bliss when I come in and out of a place like that. So I feel like the prison work is what has kind of cast me in this role of seeming like a cantankerous curmudgeon when something like The Secret comes out and everybody is just raving about it all over the place and saying, oh, this will change your life, it's going to change the world, you got to see The Secret. And then I check it out, I watch it, and I'm just offended beyond belief at the stupidity, you know, and the denial and the superficiality of it. And many people, even people in meditation centers, turn against me for that and say that I'm judgmental and that I'm intolerant. And I said, no, this just isn't about enlightenment. Call it what it is. It's a success seminar thing, great, fine. Keep your mind on positive things, cut out that picture of the Mercedes and put it on your refrigerator. But around Bo Lozoff, don't you dare call that liberation, spiritual enlightenment, or self-realization. Because he's going to ream you a new one if you do. because that's what I'm supposed to do. I'm a political radical. I'm not just a, namby-pamby spiritual teacher who's never experienced anything rough. I go in and out of places where it's rough all the time and unfair and unjust. And there is still joy, there is still depth, and there's still richness in life, but it is not unfettered joy. It is not uninterrupted bliss. It's extremely interrupted, and it's still okay. It's still, when my guru, Neem Karoli Baba, used to say Saptiko Jayega, which means everything is going to be okay, or everything is all right, he didn't mean that it's fine for Charles to be in prison. It didn't mean that it's fine for us to put 9-year-olds in orange jumpsuits. He meant there is something in all of us and in all of this that still makes sense and that is good, and we have to know that as people of faith. And also now devote our lives to getting those 9-year-olds out of that institution, to getting Charles parole. Devote our lives to it. Rail at injustice and superficiality. I mean, we're supposed to.